Wait, let me check the Reddit. I haven't seen our community in action for a while. This is so true. Boruto fandom starter pack. Jogan Pure Eyes anime filler. Oh my god, Boruto lose everything. The anime is all canon. Sarada will awaken Mangaka Sharon out of love. I think that was I swear to god, that theory I wrote 2 years ago. Naruto and Sasuke are nubbed. Sasuke will die. Prepare to see this picture every other post. That's so true. Bro, that one scene has carried the whole anime. It's the whole reason we keep watching. Boruto and Sora. Yo, this is an excellent meme. Upvote that shit. Upvote that shit. Yes. Every time they get killed off in the thumbnails, Anime Balls Deep uploads a Boruto video thumbnail. I guess we'll die then. Yeah, that's so true. Even the thumbnail for this video, Sasuke is dying. Bro, if you want to get them views, you need to do shit like that, bro. Excellent meme, upvote. Who can relate? Exam tuning Naruto. It's like a war zone in World War II. Boruto. It's like sports day at school. Yo, that's true, that's true. Good one. Hey guys, this is some good ass memes, man. I appreciate that shit. Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. Today we are covering a huge secret our community has found regarding the karma seal Boruto and Kawaki have. This is in regards to their resignation that keeps on occurring and reiterated throughout the manga. Isshiki Otsutsuki himself was absolutely shocked at how fast his vessel Kawaki was transforming into an Otsutsuki after he met Boruto. In fact, Boruto is transforming so fast that in Boruto chapter 49 he is able to create a karma portal on his own to another dimension. Beforehand, he would need Kawaki's help to do this. Even saying that, Momoshiki already showed his capability of taking over Boruto's body due to how fast the karma seal is progressing. So naturally, the massive question we all have as fans is obvious. How the hell is Boruto going to get rid of karma to stop becoming an Otsutsuki, and why is Kawaki's seal resonating so much with Boruto? So this is a theory, an anime balls deep theory. No, wait, can we even call this a theory? We all know I'm friends with Kadashi, right? The writer of Boruto follows me on Twitter, for God's sake. Yeah, you got that right, mate. Why are you not following me on Twitter or Instagram, you dumb bitch? So before we dive deeper, we all need to be on the same page as the community on this video. So let's first explain karma on a basic premise. Karma is a seal that serves as a compressed backup of an Otsutsuki clan member's biological data that they can embed in the body of a chosen recipient, thus transforming the person into their vessel. Over time, the karma overwrites the vessel's genetic profile until their body transforms into that of a perfect recreation of the Otsutsuki template, at which point the karma disappears and the Otsutsuki can take over their body and resurrect. Once the data is being transferred and the vessel is slowly transforming, the vessel can learn to activate the karma and utilize a portion of the Otsutsuki's powers and abilities, at times even allowing the Otsutsuki's will to manifest and take control over their body. When the karma is activated, it significantly enhances the user's physical ability and the power of their jutsu. It can also absorb chakra and chakra based attacks like ninjutsu. Karma can also be used as a medium for space-time ninjutsu, opening rifts to any location including foreign dimensions at will. From the manga so far, we can say for a fact that the speed at which karma unzips is directly correlated with the similar wavelengths Boruto and Kawaki have. This is obviously also due to two Otsutsuki beings being within close vicinity of each other that enhances their growth within the seal. Isshiki Otsutsuki makes it quite clear to us that he knows about this phenomena but is absolutely shocked witnessing it. This is because the chances of two godly Otsutsuki beings dying on the same goddamn planet and gaining a vessel that can withstand their powers is unheard of. Like, the chances of that happening is like the chance of Kiba actually becoming Hokage in a shonen named Naruto. Now we know the reason Kawaki and Boruto's Karma Seal progressed so significantly is because Naruto adopted Kawaki as his second son, so that resulted in them spending months of chakra training with him. He even called him a natural. This caused Kawaki to interact with Boruto's karma so that they can learn intel about what this Otsutsuki seal actually was. As their training passes by, we see the enhancement of Boruto's karma power spreading really fast. When Naruto told his two sons to do the unison sign of respect after their bouts, Boruto received a message from Momoshiki in chapter 30 letting him know of his presence. Therefore, in chapter 30 we see the first sign of Momoshiki being inside of Boruto transferring the data at an enhanced rate. Kashin Koji was also spying on the fight as he wanted to learn the concept of resonance between the two seals and why they interact in such a manner. Remember that Kashin Koji is the one that led Boruto to meet Kawaki after he witnessed his karma seal saving Trash Maru from dying after he set him on fire and beat him in literally 5 seconds.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Kashin Koji gains intel on the two karma as he witnessed them resonating for the first time with each other when they meet, and this leads him to lie to Delta so that they can go to Konoha and see more information about how this works. It's pretty obvious to the community that Kashin Koji, with all of this knowledge, being like this Jiraiya type figure, he would definitely be the one that will pass on this information back to Amado, Sasuke, Naruto and Boruto to gain an understanding over Isshiki Otsutsuki's intentions. The last time we saw Kashin Koji after his battle with Ishiki, he was going back to Konoha. This will fulfill his own prophecy which he ponders on himself in chapter 16 that his destiny resides within the village. This is because he is of Jiraiya's genetics and his clone. Thus, he is playing a similar role to him in the story. Jiraiya was the one that spied for Konoha and gave intel on Pain, for example. Anyways, during chapter 30, Boruto is clueless. However, Kashin Koji states Boruto's wounds were healed involuntarily without Boruto knowing what he was even doing. This showcases evidence that Momoshiki's karma seal was transferring data more rapidly during this training, and it healed him because Momoshiki doesn't want his vessel to die or be harmed. The resonance was furthering this rapidly. Now, since Naruto has adopted Kawaki, he has spent months training with Boruto even after Delta was defeated. In chapter 36, we see Boruto's flower pattern on his karma further progress as his body froze up for the first time and it made him slip. He says this has never ever happened to him before as a ninja. They come to the conclusion that Boruto's karma is linked with Kawaki and only activates if he's in battle or because of him. The story does this to showcase how rapid the resonation between the two is actually occurring. We have to remember that Kawaki has had the karma for much longer than Boruto, so that meant he is a little ahead in terms of the data transfer of Isshiki Otsutsuki. That's why in the same chapter 36, Kawaki's horn is first displayed as his months of resonation with Boruto progressed him to this degree. We know Ishiki is shocked by Kawaki's growth and wants to understand this concept of resonance through his reactions, where he states this himself. This is, when did he advance so much? This concept is pushed further when Ishiki returns to base in chapter 39 and states, his karma is ripening at an astonishing pace. He's no longer just a simple incomplete vessel. Amado then comes to the conclusion that this has possibly occurred due to the strong resonance from Boruto's karma. They both agree, and Ishiki smiles that they'll both make a gigantic divine tree that will devour all life on the planet. One thing we need to point out, however, is that Amado already understands the concept of resonance before Ishiki even mentions it. That means that they both discussed this concept already. I mean, come on now, Amado is this big brain scientific nerd, so could he possibly have the answer to create technology that will stop the resonance from taking place any further? So before we go even deeper, we all need to understand what resonance even means in a scientific way, since Boruto's whole manga is about technology now. And remember, I also got that degree in anime bullshit science, of course, that allows me to explain all of this stuff. Basically, resonance occurs when a a system is able to store and easily transfer energy between two or more different storage modes, such as kinetic energy and potential energy in the case of a simple pendulum. However, there are some losses from cycle to cycle called damping. When damping is small, the resonance frequency is approximately equal to the natural frequency of the system, which is a frequency of unforced vibrations. Some systems have multiple district or resonant frequencies. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell is he talking about?
What the fuck is you talking about?
Was that? I'm sorry, man. I wasn't thinking about it.
Now, since we know for a fact that Amado confirmed the Karma Seal is a storage backup file of the Otsutsuki, and they are indeed transferring their data, aka energy, into their vessels, we can come to the conclusion that Okyo Kodachi, the writer of Boruto, will create a concept within Boruto that will introduce the damping concept in conjunction with it to provide his characters a chance to make Boruto the star of hope and fulfill the prophecy. I mean, think about it. He needs to create an alternative solution for Boruto's character to end the cycle of the Otsutsuki on the planet. Otherwise, where the hell is the story going from here?
I haven't a clue what's going on here, but I'll act like I do.
Now, if you're still confused, what I'm trying to say is that the inspiration for the resonation concept, it does exist in real life based on scientific terms, and Boruto is depending on science now, exploring whether or not technology is good or bad. So basically, what does damping mean? Damping is an influence within or upon a system that has the effect of reducing, restricting, or preventing its oscillations, and in a physical system, damping is produced by the processes that dissipate the energy stored in the oscillation. In terms of karma, what this means is, I'm going to use my degree now, the energy and the data that's being transferred within the karma that's making them Otsutsuki, Boruto needs to learn a technique, or it could be technology, of a damping effect that will stop that data transfer to occur much more slower than it's happening right now, because at the minute it's so fast that Momoshiki is taking over Boruto's body already. So now this makes a lot of sense as to why Boruto in the future isn't a full-fledged Otsutsuki yet, even though 4 years have passed when he faces Kawaki. This is because the data that is being transferred by Momoshiki is slowed down. Maybe Orochimaru will help them figure out a plan, since they already foreshadowed his involvement multiple times in the manga and in chapter 35. And if you want a perfect understanding of Orochimaru's secret plan with Mitsuki, because remember, the notion of Mitsuki being Boruto's moon is throughout the whole show, I'd highly recommend that you watch the video being displayed to you right now after this one. Anyway, to further this analysis, I need to mention our Reddit. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or join the Discord, guys. Also, thank you to everyone being displayed right now for buying the Jigen. You thought you could get away in a Boruto video without me saying Jigen? We really appreciate you for helping us out, and if you want to join the club to buy the merch, use the discount code Boruto49 for 10% off. We need to let Jigen's name live on, fam. This analysis was so good that it inspired me to make this video. So shout out to... Wait, what? Throwaway RI8? Why would you post such a glorious analysis on a throwaway? But if we move on, the concept of Boruto learning a way of stopping karma to progress is foreshadowed throughout the possibility that this resonance may be disrupted by negative wavelengths that are produced by the advancement in scientific ninja tech. Let me give you more evidence to this goddamn theory. Earlier in the Boruto manga, there was some allusions to resonance, even before we were introduced to Kawaki in chapter 23. In chapter 18, when Boruto and the gang go to the research facility, Mitsuki brings up the topic of resonance and its relation to wavelengths. This is our first introduction to the concept that waves may negate each other. In other words, it is the opposite, as Mitsuki notes, of the principle of resonance, that is. Before we dive further into this theory, it's important to define what resonance is. In its most simple definition, resonance happens when two or more things vibrate at a frequency of wavelength near the natural frequency, and thus energy can can be transferred at high rates without difficulty, like I explained earlier in the video. This is essentially the answer to the question as to why Kawaki and Boruto's Karma Seal are developing faster into Otsutsuki when they are together. With this in mind, let's pause for a minute and consider what energy means in the context of the Naruto universe, and in conjunction with the idea of damping, which I explained earlier. At a glance, it would be plausible to say that chakra is energy. Furthermore, when we were introduced to the Sage of Six Paths and his ideology, which is Ninshu if you forgot, we learned the original intent of chakra was to connect spiritual energies with each other. Boruto's manga in fact introduces this concept once again in chapter 29 when Naruto explains the concept of chakra to Kawaki. Naruto explains the concept of Ninshu and that chakra is a way of human beings connecting with one another and that it's an energy that exists in everyone. The real essence of chakra is its binding force. All human beings are linked through it. I believe there are important implications of what Hagoromo stated in Shippuden in the current storyline. Perhaps there is a correlation or connection between the spiritual energies by means of chakra between Boruto and Kawaki that we are yet unaware of. But let's take a look at how Boruto can stop unpacking of Karma's data. Let's also consider this panel in the same chapter 18. First, I want to clarify that I'm not necessarily saying that sound waves will be the only thing that disrupts the unpacking of Karma. What I am merely hypothesizing is that some type of wavelength disruption, be it sound, chakra, or some combination or whatever, it may disrupt Karma's data transfer. With that said, I think this scene is peculiar because this kind of information is not necessarily relevant to the immediate story, so why was it explained to us, the audience? If we look at chapter 18, technology is showcased throughout and how it can be utilized for multiple uses that can be manipulated for a certain function. This chapter may be foreshadowing that wave disruptions may eventually be practical. And if we take a look at the subject of damping, which measures the concept of resonance in a scientific point of view, it's quite obvious where the wavelength disruption could be of use in the future. Moving forward, let's also consider Karma in action. See this image where Boruto and Kawaki resonate. Notice here how Boruto's internal dialogue says that something is seeping in. It is my belief that what is seeping in is actually energy, more specifically potentially chakra or spiritual energy. It could be whatever Okyo Kodachi decides what the element is, but the plot device is the same. The evidence at best seems circumstantial, so I encourage any kind of alternative viewpoints on what might be seeping in Boruto's Karma. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. To further add to the idea that some sort of energy is transferred, see this image of Jigen trying to give Karma to the test children. To me, and again this is entirely circumstantial and an anime balls deep theory, thank you for submitting it on our Reddit, but basically that black liquid going up the test tubes is some sort of manifestation of that energy being transferred, right? So I hypothesize that not all people are able to take in such energy transfers, evident by the countless children deaths after the experimentations. Only Kawaki was chosen and could handle it. When Jigen was first giving his Karma, I think the possibility of him and Ishiki being on some sort of similar wavelength, though not enough to transfer energy in high amounts easily, he ended up being an imperfect vessel because he could not resonate entirely. Continuing on, it's important to visit Kashin Koji's inner dialogue as well. Kashin Koji takes notice of this resonance and ponders if this is the reason why Jigen was so fixated on Kawaki. If we interpret Kashin Koji's inner dialogue, we may come to the possible conclusion that Ishiki was able to find someone that was compatible with his particular wavelength, that is able to resonate with Ishiki himself. If we go back to when Kawaki and Team 7 go to rescue Naruto in chapter 39, Kawaki says that the reason Jigen chose him is because he was a lot like him. The part I want to focus on is how he says that they are on the same wavelength, hinting that both of them oscillate one another. This is further evidence to the points I made earlier in the video. Now let's talk about why and how this oscillation will be disrupted. We know that Karma is essentially a compressed zip file, so of course Batman Sensei Sasuke just needs to download WinRAR inside Boruto, and it's pretty simple if you ask me. Bruh. But seriously though, Karma is basically a backup file for the Otsutsuki, right? Amado told us this in chapter 46, that Karma is just a compressed file which is slowly extracting over time. When this data is fully extracted, Momoshiki will be released and take over Boruto. Kodachi is employing the concepts of fault injections and destructive interference with how karma is portrayed. Fault injections are tests done to systems of software in order to understand how they will function when put in high stress situations. In Boruto's case, the system is the karma, as a system in most cases is just a container for data which is a congruent to karma. They are both just carriers for data on their foundation. Destructive interference is when wavelengths are out of their phase or when they are not close to their natural frequency, thus they interfere with each other. So I know a lot of you are confused right now at this anime bullshit degree science mind blasting you right now. But what I'm trying to say is that when these two wavelengths overlap, they can either further each other due to stress they impose on themselves or they cancel each other out. Furthermore, in the case of Boruto and Kawaki, they resonate with each other by putting stress into their respective karma marks. Since meeting each other, they have only sped up each other's progression. Their similar wavelengths are hitting each other because of Boruto and Kawaki having similar chakra or spiritual energies. It is clear that the energy transfer goes up when they resonate, thus causing their karma to accelerate during their extraction of their respective Otsutsuki data. So if this is correct, then there has to be a way of reversing the karma wavelength and cause them to negate each other. However, we have to remember that the data is too abstract of a word in our current situation. What is happening is that the extraction is not of data, but rather spiritual energy of Momoshiki and Isshiki. This is why the concept of fault injection and destructive interference are so important. The combination of these two epitomizes what advancing in science and technology means in the Boruto universe and our own world. Fault injections is essentially designing a test to stress a system which would be seen as advanced ninja tech created by Chakra, right? And Jigen to perfect Isshiki as a vessel by stressing them, hence we have all those dead kids. Destructive interference, which is the principle that negates other wavelengths, is to stop the extraction of data or spiritual energies of Momoshiki and Isshiki in Boruto and Kawaki. I know a lot of you are lost right now and you're probably scratching your head thinking, what the hell did he just say? But please stick with me for one more minute. With the evidence and foreshadowing already done by Kodachi in his interviews, where he states that Boruto is all about science now and exploring whether it's right or wrong, that countries are fighting over scientists now like Sasuke rather than focusing on developing new ninjutsu, this sets up the premise that science will be used to disrupt karma and help save everyone. This is quite ironic considering how science is the reason for this mess in the first place. It was Amado's science which created Kawaki and helped Ishiki further in his karma. So it's showing duality and two sides of the coin, right and wrong of technology. Because of this fact, it does not devalue Naruto and Sasuke's ideology that ninja tools aren't replacement for real shinobis, because it's shinobis in the end who have to fix the mess made by the science of the world in the first chapter of Boruto, where Kawaki and Boruto are fighting against the backdrop of a destroyed Konoha, which is likely caused by this advancement. Anyway guys, I again thank Throwaway for posting this amazing analysis on our Reddit. So if you want to be featured in a video one day, make sure to participate on our social media. I highly suggest for you to be active in our community like on Reddit, Discord, Twitter or Instagram. Thank you for joining us as always. Let me know what you think of this balls deep analysis and I'll see you guys next time.